What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of ACCA 13, Episode 4. You know, I like that this episode took the time to show us some of the other districts and some of the segregation and some of the other things that are going on around these districts, because we know the grand scale of this series is a coup d'etat on the kingdom itself. But to actually see some things going on within the other communities or the other districts show that this world isn't as perfect as Groslar thinks, because we obviously got classism and things like that going on other parts of the map. And when you have things like that, it kind of makes you wonder, you know, maybe this coup that they're staging on a district could be a good thing, or at least that's what some people may think, as this type of thing can spread. This type of thing can really spread between other districts and inspire others to rise up and kind of fight back against the government too. And that's definitely what we were facing this week, as John is stationed in a city called the Suitsu District. And in this district is very, I don't want to say primitive, but it's kind of closed off. It is an independent nation within its own country, and they are so closed off here. It's like they don't have technology, definitely don't have cigarettes. And the people there, like the commoners, aren't even allowed to communicate with like the guards or the higher up or the nobles within the country. It's like people really are segregated between the rich and the poor in this district. And John is here to do his audit, of course, and we are introduced by a man by the name of Wassler, I believe that was his name was. And John actually considered him as a replacement for him. Like when he finally did decide to quit his job as an auditor and step down, this Wassler guy was actually somebody that he said that, you know what, I would probably pick you. You know, you have all the things that I need. And his name is Wobbler. That's my mistake. But he's not too keen on John. He's kind of like, you know what, I don't like this guy. There's something about him that just doesn't click well. And he also says, you know what, I wouldn't be a good fit for this position anyway, because I'm not as good with the higher ups as you are. It's also interesting that one of the 5 chief officers, Patsit, he is actually a noble, you know, the blind guy with like the mustache and the blonde ponytail. So it's pretty interesting. Is like, if you're already of royalty, why are you within the ACCA 13? I mean, of course it makes sense, because more power and more power. But it's also one of the things I really like about this series, because as I keep saying, you don't know where this attack could come from. Like, could he be staging the coup because, you know, he is royalty? Maybe he wants more power for himself. You don't know. And that is at the very least the fun part of ACCA 13. And we're 4 episodes in now, so I'm guessing, like, if you're here now, you're going to be here for the longer haul. Like me, myself, I covered all the Joker game, because even though Joker game had all of his flaws, and I always compare this series to Joker game, this and Onihei, even though it has its flaws, it still has something enjoyable in there. I mean, yeah, it was bad overall, but it was still something you can enjoy. And the big payoff of what's going to happen is the thing that keeps bringing ACCA 13 back to me every week, to me being like happy to watch it, and especially that soundtrack. Oh my god, that soundtrack is great. Definitely one of the best OSTs of the series. But it's the intrigue, it's just this coup d'etat that we don't know where the daggers are gonna come from, that brings me back week after week after week to see where it's going. But at the same time, I can understand why people probably aren't, you know, that keen on this series as a whole, because yeah, it is a slow burn. It is a very slow burn, and we're almost at the halfway mark. And I'll just go ahead and say it, because this is what I'm looking for personally. At this point, or at least by the halfway mark, I want somebody to get murdered or something, so we can get some more corruption going and speed things up a little bit, because right now this life as an anime auditor, that's just not cutting it right now. And I can understand people have already fell off the wagon with this series, or aren't patient enough to keep going through it, because it is slow. But thankfully I'm patient, so I'm gonna see where it goes from here. So in the midst of his audit and looking around, John actually ends up getting kidnapped. And I probably called him John this entire review. He ends up getting like apprehended by a group of people who were talking about the coup, and they saw him and said, hey, if he heard us, he must know something. So they take him in. They're being headed by a guard of the ACCA 13 for this actual district by the name of Biscuit. And the thing is, Biscuit is actually staging his own coup within the community. So they wasn't talking about the big coup of the kingdom that this series has. They're talking about a coup d'etat of the Suitsu District itself, because again, just like I said at the top of the video, there's a lot of segregation, there's a lot of classism going on in this, and they just want independence. They want to be treated as equals as everybody else within this district, and that's what they want. And this all kind of stemmed from the two demands that they want. First and foremost, they want free passage. They want free passage to go to any district that they want. That was one of their demands. The second demand is the resignation of a certain governor, or he was like a councilman or something. And it kind of hurt the people here because he used to be down in the dumps like them, for lack of better comparison. He used to be one of them, but when he got that seat in the office, of course, like all politicians, they tell you they're going to do one thing and then they end up doing something else. You know, they thought he was going to be for the people and be there to help them, but he only took this position to elevate himself. He doesn't even come back to the district. He's done nothing for the people. So they want to take him down because he is a complete noble lackey. He's doing everything that the nobles want him to do, and he wants to rub elbows with them himself and forget all about the people there. And John is kind of Gene. I keep calling him John. I don't know why I keep calling him John, but Gene is a little bit intrigued by that because he is a cardboard character. He is. There's no way around that. But at the very least, he can see where these people come from and he can relate to what they're doing. And he's like, hey, I can help you guys out with what you need for the price of some cigarettes. And I keep telling you, these cigarettes are going to get him in trouble at some point. So they're actually going to try to stage this coup within a coup, I guess, and start a riot within the entire town to go against the higher ups, try to get this councilman. We found out that Wobbler is actually working with this biscuit dude, and now they're like, well, some people went ahead and started the revolt without us. We might as well go ahead and just start there and see where we can go from here. Why not? That sounds like a good plan, right? So basically, they're looking at this councilman like, you are the chosen one. We trusted you, and he just decided to say, oh well, I'm going to go ahead and elevate myself. We see him trying to rub elbows with the nobles who don't accept him because they know where he's from. They know what he's about. And while this riot is going on, it's pretty interesting that it was over pretty quick. I mean, it wasn't any casualties or anything, but Biscuit did get taken into custody. And Wobbler, you know, Gene was like, you know, I kind of commend where you're coming from. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and send you a bad report because this Wobbler guy wanted to stay in this district. He didn't want to advance because if he did, he would have to leave, and he doesn't want to leave until his people are liberated. So Gene is basically like, okay, I'll turn in a bad report, so you have to stay here. So that was a little bit of good gesture for him. That could be a big ally for him at some point. But he says, Biscuit, you know, Biscuit's, I can't really do anything for him. They do let him go because Gene says, look, these people didn't hurt anybody. They didn't have any weapons. It was just a friendly revolt. Let them go. In turn, I won't tell the higher ups about the coup that you guys are staging, because think about the ramifications of this. Just like I said earlier as well. If people got word that the people within some other district was all coming together and trying to take down the government, think about that gets out in the media, things of that gets out to other people. It's going to have other districts saying, why aren't we fighting for our rights just like these guys? It could be really big. So it would be best for the chief officers and everybody above them and all around the districts to nip this in the bud. And that's what Gene did. And it's also kind of interesting that we do touch base with Nico still going around sneaking. He actually helped Gene in this episode because some of the rioters got a hold of Gene because he was in his ACCA outfit and they were about to like beat him up or something. And then we see like a hooded man by his hair is poking out a little bit. It was actually Nico who ended up helping him out, letting him get away, then making an escape. But I'm still wondering what his game is, whose side is he truly on, because he's very close to Gene's sister and he's always around and trying to find something, or he finds something and he can report back about Gene and she's completely oblivious about it. And I think the meat of this series is going to really come in once we see where his allegiance lies, because there's still room for him to betray after all. And if that happens, that could be something that can crush Gene in the long run. Besides him smoking these cigarettes and just making him look bad to people all around. It's like, what is with this dude? He's making deals for cigarettes. People are finding out about it. He's smoking cigarettes in public knowing that it's a bad thing. It's just not going to work out good for him. And this prince that we met last week, he's thirsty too. This is a thirsty little son of a gun because he's straight up stalking Gene's sister. I mean, he straight up got people taking pictures of her and find out where he's going. So that can also help and hurt. And again, the pieces are here for this series to be great. It's just how long are they going to make us wait for the payoff? So yeah, that was the episode and my thoughts in a nutshell, guys. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel. And I'm really interested to know what you think about this series if you're still watching it. Manga readers, what's up? Let me know. Is it worth to keep going? Is it going to get better? I'm willing to know if I should stick with it or not. I'm definitely going to watch it for myself, but let me know what you guys think of it. And I'll see you guys next time. So as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now. You chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.